Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. In my previous video, we discussed mapathy, the feeling of indifference that fans get when they play the same maps over and over, and why the old mapathy advertisement for Modern Warfare 2 is extremely relevant even in today's Call of Duty climate. I think the video did pretty well, it kicked up a lot of discussion, and one comment in particular really stood out to me, so I wanted to discuss that here in today's video. So Switty here makes the comment that after Black Ops 3, it seems like Treyarch fired all but one map designer. He claims that he wants good, new maps, and the comment itself was one of the highest voted comments on the video. Well, almost immediately, a random account named Bob replied with the weirdest message. Bob says, and let me guess, you want these quote-unquote good, new maps given to you for free, right? Something about this comment just seems so snarky and so out of place. Old Bob here got hit with a bunch of responses that basically say, yeah, we paid for the game, what a pointless comment, what point are you even trying to make here? And I really do wonder that. What point is Bob trying to make here? From the outside looking in, and obviously I can't prove anything, and I don't want any harassment or anything like that, but from the outside looking in, Bob here sounds exactly like a Treyarch or Activision employee on their alt account, Kevin Durant style. Right? What sort of Call of Duty fan, nay, what sort of video game fan would make a comment like that? Of course fans want good maps for free. Remakes are getting boring as hell. If the business model is to sell 1.5 million cosmetics in the shop and have a battle pass in exchange for new maps each season, then I see no reason why the maps can't be original and good. Now, obviously, good is subjective. I feel as though maps like Yamantau and the Pines are examples of really good DLC maps that came out with Black Ops Cold War. But the problem is, we are 9 months into this game's life cycle, actually 10 almost, we're almost 10 months into this game's life cycle, and we've seen a total of 5 original maps post-launch for normal 6v6 multiplayer in a game that literally only had 8 original 6v6 maps at launch. If we aren't counting niche game modes like Gunfight or Fireteam, there are like 13 total original maps in Black Ops Cold War, and that is obscene, because 10 years ago, Modern Warfare 2, which the whole mapathy thing came from Modern Warfare 2, back in that game, there were 16 maps at launch, and a lot of them were absolute bangers. I will say that it is good that we can play Gunfight maps in 6v6 now. That is genuinely a very good thing, but the point still stands. What in the world was Bob trying to imply with that comment? Even assuming for a second that Bob is not an Activision employee, but rather just an Activision bootlicker, the implication of the comment seems to be that because post-launch maps are technically free now, they are allowed to either be bad or just be remakes from older games. Well, I think that Bob, or anyone who even thinks like Bob, needs to understand that Call of Duty is not new. We have history here in this franchise. We have precedents that have been set, and launching a game with 8 fucking maps, then spoon-feeding us remakes for 9 months is not exactly the charitable contribution that Activision thinks it is. We're launching with less maps than ever before. We're getting way less DLC maps than ever before, at least when it comes to original DLC maps. Hell, look back at Black Ops 1. Like, my personal favorite game in the franchise is Black Ops 1. What's your guys' favorite? Put down in the comments. But back in Black Ops 1, it launched with 14 maps, including instant classics like Nuketown, Firing Range, and Summit, and then over the course of the year, we got 12 extra maps on top of that, which had amazing themes and ideas, like Drive-In, Zoo, Hotel. There's only one map they actually decided to remake for Black Ops 1. It was Cliffside from World at War. They brought that into the game, and they turned Cliffside, which is pretty boring, into a golf course. Like, it was a really cool idea. Think about that. Just like 10 years ago, we got a game that had 25 original maps and only one remake, but the remake wasn't a remake, it was actually reimagined to be more interesting, and nowadays we don't even get reimagined maps, we just get the same remakes every year. They bring back Firing Range every year, they bring back Hijacked every single year. Treyarch is definitely the most guilty of this. Infinity Ward is also pretty bad though. There's people out there that will try to defend Infinity Ward. How many times have they brought back Scrapyard? For example, right? How many times have they brought back Crash? Like, they keep remaking the same maps over and over, and nowadays, that's all we have, right? All we have now are just remakes and snarky comments about why we should be thankful for the privilege of having these lazy remakes. There is one important impetus, however, as to why Black Ops 1 had such amazing DLC, and that, of course, was money, Right back then, maps came out via map packs, and they were $15 a piece. Black Ops 1 had 3 different map packs that contained multiplayer maps, so if fans wanted all 26 maps for Black Ops 1, we're talking about a $105 bill here. That's quite a lot, not gonna lie. But let's look at what COD is like now. You have $60 for the base game, $70 if you get the cross-gen bundle. You then have $10 each season for the Battle Pass, and there are 6 seasons. So assuming you buy it every single season, there's $60 right there. And there's also so many store bundles, and I think somebody tweeted me the other day saying they did the math on it, and there's something close to like $2,500 or $3,000 worth of store bundles in Black Ops Cold War alone. So if you want to get everything, we're talking about like $3,000 there. That's pretty insane. But here's the thing. All that is optional, or at least most of it is optional. You buy the game for $60 or $70. You can choose to buy the Battle Pass if you want for $10, and then so long as you actually play through the entire Battle Pass and complete it each season, you'll earn enough COD points from that Battle Pass to then buy the next one and continue the cycle, and obviously all the stuff in the shop is optional. Cool, right? I get that. Well, the thing is, I feel as though the Activision bootlickers are going to argue that because we don't technically have to pay for DLC maps anymore, that it's okay for DLC maps to be very few and far between, and oftentimes just be remakes, but that is an asinine take. Activision is a business, I get that, but despite them being quote-unquote charitable with their monetization models over the past couple of years, they're making way more money now than they ever did with map packs, right? This is because back then, one person would buy one $15 map pack every few months, and that was pretty much it. Nowadays, people are dropping $20 or $30 a couple times a month on random shit in the shop, like a new bundle that gets you the new gun right away. Of course people are going to buy that. They do that every single time. $30 right there. You want the new anime waifu bundle? $20 right there, dork. Like, just keep going with it, right? You just keep spending so much money on random stuff in the store, and people are wailing out on Call of Duty way more than they did back in the day. Back in the day, you could buy like these camo packs for like $2, right? You could buy the map packs for $15, you could buy the season pass for $50. Back then, people were just spending money on the season passes, mostly, right? But nowadays, they're making way more than that $50 per player post-launch. They're making thousands of dollars from individual whales, which makes up for all the people that don't buy things in the shop, right? They're making way more money now than they ever did back then with map packs and season passes. And yet it's all under this guise that what they're doing is charitable, right? Oh, everything is optional. We're giving you all these maps for free. How wonderful. The problem is, we're not idiots, and we can count without having to use our fingers and toes. The facts are, Black Ops Cold War, when it comes to normal 6v6, launched with 8 maps this year. 8. If you go back to Modern Warfare 2019, literally 1/3, go back and count, counting all DLC and everything, 1/3 of that game's 6v6 maps are remakes. Same with Black Ops 4. 9 out of the 27 maps in either of those games are remakes, right? It's ridiculous. And now there's going to be people in the comments of even this video right here where they're going to say that, oh, I wish we had map packs back, man. Map packs were great. We got good post-launch support and so on and so forth. But fuck that. Like, it's such a bad idea. I understand that when people say they preferred map packs to what we have today, that it's coming from a place of good, but please think about what you're actually saying. You're basically saying, please, Bobby Kotick, please bring back map packs. I want to pay $50 a year on season passes on top of the $70 that it's going to cost to buy the next game. Please, Mr. Bobby, please make it happen. That is so stupid. It is so stupid. The map pack system was horrible. Season passes are asinine and they're antiquated. The current business model does work if done correctly. It is genuinely consumer friendly when done correctly, and also makes the people responsible for the games a lot of money. But the problem is Activision, Treyarch, and Infinity Ward aren't holding up on their end of the deal. They're like that tenant that's always behind on their rent. We're sitting here like, okay, well, we have a deal. Whales are supposed to blow way too much money on pointless things, and people are going to buy the battle passes in exchange for great post-launch support with lots of interesting maps and lots of interesting things to do. But the game studios and Activision aren't delivering on that deal. They're always late with their rent, so to speak, right? They occasionally come out with a good season. Most of the time, they're always behind, and they'll give you what they can, so to speak, which is usually just a remake from Black Ops 2, and then promise you that they're going to get you back in the future. Don't worry, we're going to catch up. We're going to catch up and get all this great content out for you guys. Well, it's been 10 months. It's not happening. Like, frankly, it's not happening. The marketing cycle for Call of Duty World War II Vanguard is set to begin next month within Warzone. So, of course, when that starts happening, people are going to forget even more about Black Ops Cold War, which is going to further make it so Seasons 5 and 6 are probably going to be even worse than Seasons 2, 3, and 4. Let's be honest. So, it's a terrible situation, man. It's really... when I start off making videos like this, I don't really know where they're going to go, and I find myself like way through them like this. I'm like, wow, I could write a novel with how upset I am about stuff like this. Like, don't even try and tell me that the studios aren't making enough money with this new business model when Activision themselves are boasting the profits that they are. We all know that Warzone is the golden goose, and we know that Call of Duty, like actual COD, which it breaks my heart that when people think of COD now, they think of Warzone and not actual COD. But when people buy the physical games themselves or the digital games themselves, they break records year after year, right? There's nothing that is possibly holding back post-launch content for Modern Warfare 2019, Black Ops Cold War, and definitely World War II Vanguard when that comes out. There's nothing holding any of those games back post-launch besides laziness and greed. Greed mostly, I suppose, because while I'm sure there are people at Treyarch, Infinity Ward, Raven, Sledgehammer, so on and so forth, that want to support the games post-launch with a lot of great content, those same employees are being forced to work overtime, essentially, because they're working on the next game that they have to release. Like, Treyarch releases Black Ops Cold War, they take a few weeks off or a few months off, and then right back to it. They're working on Call of Duty 2020... What would that be, 2023, 2024? I don't even know, right? The COD cycle never ends, and I've said for years that the annual cycle should end, and we should focus more on the games that we actually have and make the games actually good at launch and give them good post-launch support cycles that could possibly last even multiple years, but knowing Activision, that's never going to happen. But just going full circle, I saw that comment, and that's how my brain works, and I decided I should do a video on this because I think it's actually super asinine that either there are Treyarch or Activision employees watching my videos and trying to like be snarky with people that genuinely want their game that they paid for to be good, and for the employees at Treyarch, Infinity Ward, and whatever to actually do their jobs. But also, even if it's not like an employee on their alt account, even if Bob is just like a normal person, what the fuck's wrong with you, Bob? What the fuck is wrong with you? Ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys all enjoyed today's video. If you did, consider leaving a like. Thank you all so much for listening, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.